A new threat from ISIS and a gruesome countdown to the murder of 2 Japanese hostages unless the demands are met. Militants today posting a clock on this video that counts down to 0, and they're warning that the time is running out. Welcome, everybody. Brand new hour now of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Today is the deadline that was given to Tokyo. ISIS wants $200 million, or they say they will execute these 2 men. The mother of one hostage today making a tearful plea to spare her son's life.
Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge joins us live from Washington. So, Catherine, what more do we know here?
Well, Martha, this is believed to be the first time ISIS has made a direct demand to a foreign government and the first time 2 hostages have been seen in the same video. On its face, the U.S. intelligence community says ISIS has followed through on its threats in the past, and there's no expectation that this time will be different. But the tape itself is drawing new scrutiny from outside analysts who believe it was altered and perhaps filmed in a studio where the background could be changed using what's called a green screen. These analysts point to apparent discrepancies, such as the jumpsuit of one of the hostages flutters in the breeze, but no wind is actually heard on the soundtrack. ISIS has a very deep media production arm and control of half a dozen TV stations in Iraq and Syria. And this recent video from the British hostage John Cantley was shot in a studio, and the movement of his eyes and the length of his lectures all suggest that he was actually using a teleprompter. The U.S. intelligence community believes all of these videos, including the video of the Japanese hostages, were all shot near the stronghold of Raqqa, Syria, Martha.
It's amazing to, understand the scope of the grip they have on media and the ability to carry out all these films in all these different TV stations across the area. So what about these negotiations? Do we know anything about them, Catherine?
Well, the Japanese prime minister is traveling in the Middle East and told reporters in Israel that radical Islamic terrorism must be crushed, but he did not rule out negotiations with ISIS, and the U.S. State Department has offered little at the briefings.
Well, I think you're all familiar with what the view of the United States is on ransom payments, that it puts citizens at risk, and it certainly is not a policy that we here in the United States implement or we support. So that certainly is something I think Japan knows our longstanding position on that issue.
Meantime, on social media, ISIS is now setting up a brigade and using the name of this man, the American cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, who was the first American successfully targeted for death by the CIA in Yemen in 2011. The cleric is the leader of this new digital jihad, even from the grave, and has called for lone wolf attacks. And it's important to note that he had personal contact with one of the Paris massacre shooters, the older brother Saeed Kouachi.
Yeah, very
Martha.
important. Catherine, thank you.